Hello everybody, it's Henry Weiderman. So I'm working on a Stihl HT 131 and I'm working on the power head slowly but surely. So I've already took it out. I've done a video where I took the bearings and stuff out. If you're not sure, record everything or take pictures so you know. So we'll get to that later when we're putting it back together. So now I'm going to pull the oil pump out. So here's the deal. I've seen videos where somebody uses a nut and they just sit here and keep pulling and pulling. You got to jack this out. Once you get it jacked out, use the same screw and jack it. Push it back, you hammer it back in. So this screw I've used quite a bit. I've had it for a while. This is a steel screw, which fits into the steel pump. Now I've used the wrong screw, which I have. I have an example, of course. We all learn from trial errors. So this is an old pump. I've tried different avenues to get this out. And this is the inlet, right? And then you got this back here. So you can see where I banged on it, pounded on it, got frustrated, now the pump won't turn, so I had to buy a new one. So the big thing was use the jack and screw to get it out. So what I do is I got a screw, it goes down about 3 or 4 threads. I put 2 other nuts on it, and I keep this in my removal kit. I use my tool, and I'll turn it tight, and it'll pull it, and you'll see it start pulling it. Pay attention to the hole, where the hole is. It goes in at an angle. So now I'm at a point where it's not going to turn out anymore. I gotta add a washer. Not so much a washer, I just use an extra. I use oversized nut. That just give me some more bite. And there you go. And then she'll come out for you. She will spin if you don't do it right. I got it halfway out. And then you can just take your wrench and you can pry up on it. She'll come up, just rest away. There she comes. There she comes. And you'll just pry it out. Sounds barbaric, ain't it? Wish there was a better way to do it. And there she is. And now you got your oil pump out. And you didn't damage it. You'll bend your screw a little bit, that's no big deal. I'm going to use the same screw to put it back in. Undo your screw. Clean your oil pump up. And there you go, you didn't harm it. And there's your hole that you got to worry about, which direction it goes in. It's pretty easy to do. You can look in the casing. See, I'm putting this in a new casing. So you can look in the casing and I can see the oil hole in there. So I'll get my flashlight. So down in the casing I can see the oil hole. And that's the direction I want my pump to face. There's no other hole in there. It's that one oil hole. So the direction's going to go in. There's your little hole. Is going to be pre-started so you'll see it. You're going to put your screw back once you clean it. I'm just kind of giving you a demo here. Put your screw back, it's threaded in the bottom. It's a steel screw that I use. Taking thread in the bottom, and you're gonna it's got a little wiggle room oriented. It's not gonna be perfect, but you can kind of see the direction you're gonna go in. That's about the direction right there. That's the direction it's gonna go in. You'll line it back up. And the barbaric thing about this is you're gonna hit it with a hammer. This has a collar on it, so you're gonna seat this back in there with your screw in there. I don't know how to tell you, but that's the way it goes. That's what they do. And if you don't do it the right way and you whack it wrong, you will damage the pump and it won't turn. So if I look at it this way, if I look at it that way, that circle piece goes this way, right towards me. From what I see in the hole goes right towards me. Don't see any other holes. Nothing else in the frame. So I want that to go right towards me when it goes back in. Boom. So I got it lined up. I know right where I'm going to go. This is where it becomes barbaric. You bottom your screw out. Get your ball peen. Get your hammer. Bottom your screw out. And then you're going to pound it back in. I didn't make this up. I didn't design it. And you're going to drive it back in. Okay, nice and easy. Of course, my screw's going to bend on me because it's soft. And it don't want to go in there. And you're going to drive it back in till it bottoms out. And there it is, bottomed out. And I got another screw, so I ain't worried about it. So. And there it is. There's your fuel pump. And it bottomed out like it was supposed to. And I mean the oil pump. And there's your groove on your shaft that drives it. You can. I'm just test fitting it. You can drive it back in there. You can check it. And lo and behold, it fits and drives. It's bottomed out. Ain't no more driving that baby in there. She's as far as it's gonna go. And all that does is catch them threads right there. So when it's turning, it's oiling. So we did it. I have to clean these up. So pull that back out. It's real simple. And that's it. There's what it looks like. And of course your screw takes a beating. And there goes that screw. Dude, they're soft. But you can't beat on the top of it because you damage it. Now, once you got that in, then you had this little rubber boot that I've already cleaned up. Make sure it's cleaned up good. There's nothing in it. You orientate it. There's a little nipple down there. You see it where it. You slide the bottom of the shaft of the pump. Then you're gonna just push it back into place. Something to help me. It's got a little groove on it. It'll go. It'll find its way. Orientate it. Be careful you don't poke a hole through it. It's got a little groove on it. Catches on the bottom so it don't leak. A lot of times it ain't the gasket there's little tabs on it too, so you want to make sure it's up in there real good. And that's it. And you've got it. And it's got a little thing that keeps it centered. Then the screen, it's got a little screen, it's clean. Just stick that in there and just pressure fits. And that's it. There you go. Now you've done your pump and your screen. And that's part of the rebuild. So that's how I do it in order when on the new one. I put the pump in, take it out of the oil, put it in there, check it, make sure it's spinning good, still works. And you're good to go. All right, now I'll clean the bearings up and I'll start the other half. That's it. Well, that's it for this segment. So Henry the Weeder Man out on the Stihl HT 131 installing the oil pump or taking it out using the screw. All right, Henry out. Have a good weekend.